So we keep on having questions about how it is we enable AI in that whole strategy development to execution process. And so I'm going to try a story on you that I tried on a client today and it seemed to work. Think of the metaphor of a ladder, and the ladder are the steps I need to take on that AI journey. Now, the issue is, each step makes it sound like this is a linear equation, but it's not. There's several things that you got to work on concurrently. You need to worry about what is the AI tool set you're using. You got to get your own data in it. You have to develop your own network of connections, what we call the nexus. And you also have to begin getting near real-time data. So those are several different buckets. I'm doing a ladder that looks like a linear, but it's not. It's a bunch of different things we need to optimize. And the problem is we don't really know how long this ladder is. For the sake of argument, I'm going to pretend it's 10 steps long, but I don't think it's only 10. I think there's more, but we only know up to 10 steps right now. The other steps are going to emerge over time. So let's take a look at what those steps are. So, rung number 1 is just playing along with ChatGPT. And you can do a lot using, just skillful prompts. I've seen many people posting, hey, here we can assess the quality of our objectives or the quality of our key results, or give us recommendations of key results. That's a great first rung starting position. And in and of itself, it gives value, but of course, it's missing a bunch of context and so on. So the next step, I'm going to call it rung number 2. You're moving up to now being able to use alternate AI tools. Like, you're aware of tools that, for example, help you write music, help you do art. There are different tools that help you create business analytics and strategic development. So you got to begin figuring out which is your right tool to use for the different questions. And maybe this part of this as well as the personas. Again, it's a small step. Now, that's step number 2. Step number 4 is beginning to use your data. And I'm skipping step 3 because it's a big step from just getting the AI tool to begin using your own data. But obviously, the more of your data you use, the more precise or useful the information is that your GPT tool is going to give you. So it's a journey. You don't have to boil the whole ocean at once, but you need to begin adding types of data in. So things like, what are your sales targets? What are your sales history? What are your constraints on growth, headcount, capital, that kind of thing? Just data about your organization. So that's number 4. The next one's an even bigger step. I'm going to say we skip all the way to rung number 8. And that's where you begin adding in your nexus. We call it the execution ripple, where when one thing happens, it impacts 5 or 6 other things in your organization, like the ripples in a lake when you throw a pebble in. So we need to capture that relationship between things. And to capture that relationship, we need things like your organization chart, personnel files, RACI, people's calendars, what your products are, what your competitions are, that kind of thing. And so that's a really big leap. And there are several steps that you need to do. At this point, we do that by using data scientists, business analysts, and Python programmers to close that gap. Eventually, there'll be plugins that do it. But for now, it's a pretty big step to get to that point. Next couple of steps are pretty small. Once you get that built, then we can begin creating your own parameters. So think of what you currently do in your prompt. We're now going to program that in. And that allows us to get you more standard, reliable, repeatable answers to your questions. So now each quarter, when you take a look at your retrospective or refresh, it's going to look at it through the same perspective. Otherwise, your prompt's going to take you all over the place and you're going to have unequal analysis from period to period. And then the last step so far is beginning to bring in real-time data. In other words, in order to do effective performance monitoring, you obviously need near real-time continuous data. And so that's the next step. Now, there's many more rungs, but at that point, that's where we are right now with most of our clients, and it's order of magnitude performance better than you're currently enjoying. Hopefully that helps explain these steps we've been talking about. Thanks.